Hey everyone, how's it going? We're glad to have you all here from around the world. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the family. Don't forget to like and subscribe. A heavy bill Israel pays for its recklessness in Iran. Recent reports reveal that the Israeli occupation might lose up to 50% of its population. Welcome to Mali W. Malik. I'm Ahmed Zaglul, and I'm happy you're tuning in. After the recent missile strikes by Iran that hit the heart of Tel Aviv, Iran officially opened the scorebook early. Israel is now paying the price for its reckless attacks on Iran's nuclear sites, officials, and scientists. The damage from Israel's aggression, which wasn't much different in cruelty from previous assaults, is now clearly visible. Iranian hypersonic missiles penetrated what Israel had long bragged about, the so-called Iron Dome. Turns out, it wasn't so ironclad after all. Every missile that hit its target wiped out crucial parts of the Israeli economy, assets the country had depended on to boost its capabilities. And now, estimates are warning of a serious crisis facing Israel in the coming period, due to the destruction caused by these strikes. One of the most shocking predictions: Israel could lose up to 50% of its human resources, and I'll explain what that means and how it might happen in a minute. But first, Israel's economic losses have gone far beyond what anyone predicted. The Israeli shekel has taken a hit. Tourism collapsed after major airlines canceled bookings, and there were huge blows to investments in the energy sector. According to all the latest reports, the Israeli economy is on the brink of a severe crisis. Let's break down the recent losses and take a look at forecasts for the Israeli economy based on expert opinions and international assessments, especially with Iran threatening to launch 2,000 more missiles. Welcome back. Experts and analysts have confirmed that after the Iranian missile strikes and given the current dangerous situation, Israel now faces the threat of losing up to 50% of its human capital. This prediction is based on a real study conducted by Sea Market Research in Israel, which was published about a month ago in Haaretz. According to the study, around 40% of Israelis are seriously considering permanent emigration due to the ongoing war, rising anxiety, and fear over escalating threats. Many of those surveyed couldn't imagine Iranian missiles ever reaching Tel Aviv or sensitive areas like the Ministry of Defense. But now that it's happened, the situation has triggered a potential mass exodus from Israel. Recent reports say this could lead to an unprecedented wave of emigration, especially after Israel failed to intercept the Iranian missiles. What used to be just a concern has now become a harsh reality. Emigration has become a serious headache for Israeli authorities. Last year alone, official stats show that the number of Israelis leaving the country without returning doubled compared to 2023. The Israeli Statistics Bureau said 81% of those who left were young professionals and families aged between 25 and 44, the backbone of the economy and military. The Middle East Monitor also highlighted this reverse migration crisis in recent months. They reported that the latest data shocked Israeli political and security circles. Why? Because those leaving aren't just anyone, they're the professionals, doctors, and skilled workers. This could mean a major blow to the Israeli economy. Now let's look at the initial shock to Israel's economy after the war with Iran escalated. First off, the Israeli shekel dropped sharply during Friday trading, even before Iran's retaliation. It lost around 5%, marking the biggest single-day drop since April. This was only the beginning. Experts predict the shekel will plummet even further in the coming days as investors rush to dump it in favor of safer currencies like the dollar and euro. Why? Because the war has dramatically raised the cost of insuring against Israeli sovereign debt default. According to Israel's Globes newspaper, current tensions are pushing foreign investors to pull their short-term capital out of Israel and move it to safer assets. There are also expected losses of up to $3 billion this year due to the collapse of the tourism sector and flight cancellations. Just a few days ago, the British airline EasyJet announced it would suspend flights to Ben Gurion Airport until at least July 31st, depending on how things go. This cancellation affected thousands of passengers. Even El Al, Israel's national airline, announced the cancellation of all flights and advised travelers not to come to the airport due to the Iranian threat. To give you an idea, before the Gaza war, Israel used to make between $5 to $7.5 billion from tourism. That number dropped to $3.9 billion in 2023, and it's expected to drop even further in 2024, possibly to less than 1 billion due to the severe security challenges Israel is facing. Losses are also extending to the energy sector, which we'll cover next. With the state of emergency declared in Israel's natural gas sector, the Israeli government was forced to shut down gas storage facilities that supply the country's power stations. It also closed the Leviathan offshore gas field, which is Israel's largest natural gas source, due to fears of a potential Iranian strike targeting the energy infrastructure. In this context, Energy Minister Israel Katz said that the security situation required the authorities to take precautionary steps to protect gas production and storage facilities. Naturally, this means huge economic losses, not just in terms of export revenues, but also for local industries that rely on electricity, like factories. Since the power supply is expected to be affected, the government is now resorting to coal and diesel instead of gas, which is far less efficient. As for investment, predictions say that the wave of Millionaire Flight from Israel will only get worse. It was recently reported that 1,700 millionaires have already left the country for safer places. And with everything escalating with Iran, this trend is expected to grow even faster. We're not just talking about Israeli millionaires, but also foreign nationals who've chosen to leave a country that now seems way too risky. When you look at major international companies, you can really see how serious the situation is. Even companies that usually support Israel are starting to pull out. For example, Intel recently canceled plans to build a $25 billion chip factory in Israel. That's a massive loss and a clear sign that the economic bleeding isn't stopping anytime soon, and it's putting huge pressure on Israel's already fragile economy. In the end, what happened over the past few days wasn't just about a few Iranian missile strikes. It was more like an economic earthquake. It shook Israel's economy hard and delivered a direct blow to key sectors like energy, tourism, and investment. The Israeli shekel is now on the verge of collapse, and foreign companies are turning their backs on the country. And if things stay this unstable, no political or military calm, for another 2 or 3 weeks, Israel could face a massive capital flight. Right now, the Israeli economy is facing an existential crisis, not just because of the missile strikes, but because of the growing fear that's quickly becoming reality on the ground. Fear that could lead to 50% of Israelis emigrating. So the big question Israel has to answer fast is this: do you have a plan